Hello, everyone, especially Module 10 participants. I welcome you most warmly to this Unit 1, the first lesson, Introduction to Cyber Security. We're going to talk about cyber security. I'm going to put on my this thing. Yeah, that's it. And today, what are we going to do? We want to remove the mask from the masquerade called cyber security. We want to decode it. So that's the essence of it. I'm Peter Okebukola, and today is a wonderful Monday, April 28th, 2025. We are living in two worlds, by the way. Yeah, I'm living in two worlds. I'm living in this physical world. I'm physically in my study, and like you can see, and also we live in a virtual world. See my phone. My phone, I interact with you and others all over the world, and with all the technologies that I need to interact via the internet. That's another world. That's a virtual world. Indeed, our course is virtual. So we're going to be meeting in that world, not physical world. So we have a situation in our hands where we try to secure ourselves physically. And then we must also secure ourselves virtually, because in the physical world, hey, all kinds of bad boys and bad girls are there, and also in the virtual world. So we're talking about cyber. Cyber refers to anything related to computers. We're talking about cyber cafe. You are looking at that other world, that virtual world, internet world, virtual environment. As a word, cyber security can be together like this: cyber and security. That's American spelling. And then you can have it as cyber and security separate. That's UK English. So what we want to do for this course, we settle, because we're taking this from Nigeria. It's UK English that we want, but we're going to get them mixed up occasionally. But largely cyber security as UK English. So what are the core topics we're going to cover in this course? We're going to cover quite some interesting ones, not in the course, in this unit, in this lesson. What is cyber security and why it matters, and the rest that you can see on our screen, and we're going to get to all of them. I tell you, we're in a world of cyber threats. By the second, yes, by the second, we have threats all over. Let me show you this, which is going to be part of our practicals for this unit. I will show you the live cyber threat map. Yeah, you can see happening right now. This is the attacks that you can see on this particular day. And of course, what you are going to have in the practical is for every day at the same time, I'd like you to see how these attacks are coming up. And these are top targeted countries for this moment that I am doing my this recording. These are top targeted industries, top malware types. So you can see this is live. And so the world is full of these attacks. We have 14 million attacks on this particular day. So our first question is, what is cyber security and why does it matter? I did ask you in the discussion forum number 1, the practice discussion forum, to give me your personal definitions of cyber security. And we had a very rich harvest from you all. You are very brilliant participants, by the way. Yeah, so this is the harvest of your personal definitions of cyber security. Wonderful definitions. And let's look at one of them. Abdullahi Nimota Jibola Kadri, University of Ilorin, says cyber. She took it one by one. Cyber refers to anything that has to do with the internet or using the internet, such as email, social media, and the like. Security is the act of protecting life and property to make it secure and safe. It is the state of being free from danger and anxiety. So what is then cyber plus security? Cyber security to me means, as to her, means protecting computers, phones, and online accounts from people who want to steal information or a person's identity, damage systems, of course, and all of that. So this is quite good, and you all did very well, as I noticed and recorded. But what is our own operational definition of cybersecurity for the course? Well, I've defined it as the practice. It's not too different from all the definitions that you provided. Is the practice of protecting systems, networks, and digital data from unauthorized access. If you authorize somebody to check your email, that is not a problem at all. But it's unauthorized access, theft or damage or other cyber threats. It involves using technologies, processes, and measures to ensure the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information. Essentially, what is it about? It is about keeping the online world safe. But why does cybersecurity matter? Why do we need to be cyber secure? The same way, ladies and gentlemen, that you want to secure your physical. I told you there are two worlds. The physical world, why should you want to secure your car? Why should you want to secure your door? Why in the night you want to close your doors, your windows, and the rest? Why should when you travel between Ibadan and Lagos in the night, and then you get caught up in the long bridge in traffic with all those bad boys moving around? Oh, you got to secure it. The same thing, not too different. We told you we're going to present this course in the most elementary, most friendly way. So it's the same thing. As you protect your physical property, the same way we need to protect the virtual space. Now, provided with you 10 reasons we should prioritize cyber security. Protection of personal data. Talking about protection of personal data, we asked you during the discussion for provide 2 instances where you have been threatened by cyber. So let's look at some of them. So here you provided instances where you were exposed to cyber attacks. So you can see what you provided, quite a rich harvest. So none of you in the class has not been exposed to some cyber attacks. So let's pick out 1 or 2. Yeah, let's look at my dean of science, Lagos State University. That's where I belong, a great university indeed. Professor Moses Akanbi is saying, while I was heading the data processing unit in the early digitization of student results at LASU, a virus named Riley Odinga entered our system, and it caused very serious harm by reversing files to a version of months past on a daily basis. So you can see this. You can also check yours. If you're in the class, just check yours, and you will see that all over we're having the challenge. But what can we do? Yes, what we can do is a subject of this course, and you enjoy it as we go along. So what are the reasons? Protection of personal data, prevention of financial loss, defense against cyber attacks, and the rest, avoidance of denial of service attacks. We're going to be learning details of this one. So reduce downtime, operational integrity, compliance with legal and regulatory requirements, avoiding litigation, safeguarding reputation, protection of intellectual property, protection against espionage, and national security threats. I know you know more than this, but we just picked 10 for the purpose of this. Let's go on to look at a brief history of cyber security. Yeah, so let's go down history lane. We're 2025. Let's go back. Let's look back. Now let's look at evolution of cyber security. You'll find that it's dating back 1960s, 1970s, where you had the first cyber attacks, and it goes all the way till today. But let's go into some detail. We'll find that between 1940 and 1950s, the groundwork was prepared for cybersecurity. The first computer came out in this day. So we now started to have cyberspace. And with cyberspace, all the wicked people started joining the thing. And by 1960s, the birth of the internet. So we had the internet and the discussion about how can we keep this space secure started coming up. And then by 1970s, the first computer viruses for experimentation came into place. And by 1980s, there are several personal computers. I got my first personal computer in 1984, and it was an Amstrad, a beautiful machine. So now viruses started to come up. The commercial birth of commercial antivirus software, such as McAfee's virus scan in 1987, and the emergence of worms like Morris worm, and things started to come up very interestingly. By the 1990s, 2000s, there was rapid expansion of the internet. So when the internet does expand, vulnerabilities will increase, and so there was a move to ensure that we tighten up the security protocols like SSL for secure online communications and the rest. And by the 2000, advanced threats, phishing, and cyber espionage began to grow rapidly. Cyber security now for cloud technology, for mobile, there was increased need to protect data. From 2020, that's 5 years back, and now the use of AI, machine learning, and blockchain to combat certification. Now it's time for a break. I think it's worth it. Let's take a break. Yeah, while on this short break, let's have some tidbits. Our break tidbit. What is Wi-Fi? Sorry, what is Wi-Fi? Hey, I'm not joking. Wi-Fi, the francophone environment, they call it Wi-Fi. But what is Wi-Fi? You can see how it's pronounced here. Wi-Fi. If you go online, you're going to pronounce it Wi-Fi. What is Wi-Fi? Y is for wireless. Fi or fi, not fi. Fi is fidelity. So Wi-Fi is a shortened form of wireless fidelity. When did the term come out? It was coined in 1999 by WECA. WECA is Wireless Ethernet Compatibility Alliance, a non-profit organization. As you'll have noticed, my lead message for the bulletin, newsletter for Monday is on Wi-Fi. Well, that's the end of the break. It's our tidbit for today. Yeah, so welcome back from the break. And what's next? What's next is an interesting area. That's a major part of this unit, this lesson. And that's basic cyber security terminologies and concepts. You know, we told you that when you finish with this course, and you see some of the big boys in cybersecurity, big ladies talking about cybersecurity, wanting to show off. Hey, you go put your mouth there now. Yeah, you know all these steps. And even when you drop when you speak their language, they will look at you. Where did you train? Did you train in Harvard or at MIT? How come you know all of these things? They don't know saying that Big Ben or Big Ben and Baba. So terminologies relating to cybersecurity and the basic concepts we're going to share right now. We're going to look at 20 of them. Quite a lot, but don't worry. I'm going to gallop through all of this, and then during the course of the training, the training just started today, 28th of April. During the course of the training, we're going to get into the heart of each of this. But for now, just to give you a bird's eye view of this 20. I like, I always liken this to, I talked about two worlds, living in a physical world and living in a virtual world, and both must be secure. I took interest in this because I grew up in the barracks. By the way, I was born in the barracks. This particular barracks, Nigeria Police Barracks in Elisha. The building behind here that my mama born me inside room. Yes, I saw the thing big. I visited the place, you can see, about 7 years ago, and the officers there were quite happy. Of course, I gave them some small things. Say, barrack boy here. So I'm going to be using the physical for you to appreciate, understand the concepts we are looking at in the virtual. They're the same thing. So when you talk about vulnerabilities, you are talking about your house. You don't secure it. Your door not secured. Your car is not secure. It's vulnerable to bad people, to the threats. So look at the car is not secured, and this lady put this thing at the back. Hey, let her do this one in Ajegule. Next second, you will find the thing there again. So they won't do younger with the thing. Okay, fine. I will look at this with the windows. There's this and block for the thief man to enter. So it's the same thing. So vulnerabilities are weaknesses or flaws. I'd like you to use this language beginning from now, so that they will know that, say, hey, you don't enter this wonderful course. Weaknesses or flaws in a system that can be exploited by attackers, and threats will be dangers that could exploit vulnerabilities. The area boys that can exploit your vulnerability. That's number 1 of 20. Let's go to number 2 of 20, and that is I'm trying to remove this thing that's occluding. Yeah, that's The types of cybersecurity. You have the one for the network. You can be working on your own, or you are in a network. That's network security. Then application security. You have some software that you are using, and that focuses on keeping the software and device free of threats. And then the endpoint security. Endpoint security secures individual devices like computers, that's at the endpoint, smartphones, tablets, from being exploited by malicious actors. That's number 2. So somebody asks you, what are the types? So you can say. And by the way, the test on Friday, listen very carefully. The test on Friday will have items on each of these. But the whole idea is not just test; it's for you to be able to soak in all these concepts. Let's go to number 3. Okay, your door is not locked, and so the thief man comes in. Thief man, I don't want to use the robber, comes in and breaks open the place. You enter the office or your house and you find all of these things. So your office had been breached. So it's the same thing, my dear participants. There's no big grammar there. It's the same. So here we call it data. So it has been breached. So a data breach occurs when sensitive, protected, or confidential data is accessed, disclosed, or stolen. So breaches can happen through hacking, malware, or even accidental loss. So that is data breach. Oh, my data has been breached. So that's it. Let's go to number 4. Number 4 is cyber threat intelligence. Cyber threat intelligence. Cyber threat intelligence. Let's look at the physical one. Police, the intelligence report. So surveying the place. SSS people in the physical world. SSS, by the way, for those who are not from Nigeria, is a secret police. They will write intelligence reports on persons, on organizations, and all that. The same thing. Cyber threat intelligence to survey is the collection and analysis of data on emerging cyber threats. Why? To proactively defend against such attacks. So let's go on to number 5. Hey, these bad boys and girls, they don't come. Hey, malicious software. Shorten form is malicious ware. Malware is the shorten form. When you hear malware, don't say malicious software. And by the way, I didn't say malware. So anyway, that's on my next slide. So you can see that these are malicious. These people, area boys, they don't shack well. They are ready to cross anything. So malware is designed to disrupt, damage, or gain unauthorized access to systems. Now, as I was saying, the singular is malware because it's an uncountable noun, and the plural is malware. So dear participants, it's not malwares or softwares, it's uncountable. So I've identified some major ones, and you have viruses, you have worms, you have Trojan horses, you have ransomware, you have spyware. Let's look at a few of these. Let's look at viruses and then worms. You see, the virus, you put your flash somewhere, or you click on something that you are not supposed to click on, and it executes the file. Execute means it loads it expands, and it occupies your space. The program, the algorithm that's written is executed. So viruses, it will require a helping hand from users to spread. While what we call worms independently crawl their way through the system. They don't need you. When the worm don't enter, the worm will just keep going. But the virus will require you to transfer from one to another. Let's look at a few more details here. So the meaning, the virus attaches itself to executable file. I've told you executable file is the one that will execute a program and transfer from one system to another. Worms, you can see this one. Human action is needed here. Worms, they don't require you to do anything. As soon as they enter, get a foothold, they start moving. The speed of spreading, this one is slow, but this one is extremely fast. Okay, let's go on. Let's now move on to what are called Trojans. The name is from a Greek mythology. In Troy, the Spartans and they were in battle with the Troy people, And these people say, oh, yeah, we're going to give you a nice horse, give you a nice horse. Meantime, inside the horse, you had the Spartan army there because the place seriously fortified. So they now accepted this horse, the Trojan horse, entered the thing. So the same trick. The the bad entity will come inside as, oh, got something very wonderful, something very sweet, like a horse, and then will enter. When it enters, hey, all the soldiers will come out. So the Trojan is a type of malware that disguises itself as a legitimate software to trick users into installing it. Trojans do not self-replicate; they rely on their user interaction. Example is a fake software installer. Okay, you go to Ikeja or any of the computer villages. Hey, this software is selling for 150 naira, whereas it's almost like $200 or more. And you buy it 150. You install it, the Trojan day inside. Sorry, I'm using some pidgin, but it's nice. That's a multilingual mode that we're using now. So you have fake software. They create a backdoor for all the other things to come in. We've looked at viruses, we look at worms, we look at Trojans. Is that all? No. Let's look at number 6, botnets. Botnet is botnet, robot network. Mind you, test the come on Friday. These are networks of compromised computers. Net means network. So it's not just one computer, it's a network of computer devices that are controlled remotely by cyber criminals. They will launch a DDoS. You will hear that one very soon. Attacks, sending spam emails or stealing personal data, and these infected devices are often called zombies. So that's botnet. Let's get on to the different types of attacks. That's number 7. There's a denial of service attack, DOS. This overwhelms a system with traffic making it unavailable. This is very common. I encountered this quite a number of times. So, like those days, you call the number, all trucks are busy, please try later. What has happened if in the network is that those bad people will clog up the place so that the useful information or data will not be able to go through. So that's denial of service. They deny the service. That's DOS attack. The other one is distributed denial of service, DDoS. That's what I was trying to refer to attacks. Now, this will use multiple compromised devices, like the botnet, to launch a larger scale attack. So everywhere is distributed everywhere. So these are some of the attacks. Let's look at man-in-the-middle attack. This one is very interesting to me. So you send me a message, like our dear boss, Professor Meturari, former Vice Chancellor, that's Vice Chancellor Emeritus, and Professor S.G. Odewumi, they send messages to themselves, and I stay in the middle to hijack the message from, it's like the Red Sea traffic. Some people hoodlums are hijacking the traffic. So man-in-the-middle attack, you're going to get all the details of this as we go along. The ransomware, this one reminds us of kidnapping for ransom. What these people do is they will get into your system and hold it, hijack it. All your data, sensitive data, they will hold it. And they will say, no, we don't hold them, so you come and pay us. So encrypts a victim's data and demands payment for decryption. Let's go on to number 8. Hey, phishing every day, this one. Now, I looked at all the 2 attacks that you heard, that you recorded in discussion forum 1, that will have that table, and I found quite a lot at this. So somebody deceives you, sends a message, I'm a brother of one oil magnate, and this thing, so click here to provide me your account number and all that. So they steal it and that's it. So phishing is a deceptive attack in which cyber criminals trick users into revealing sensitive information such as passwords or credit card details. Now, these attacks often involve fraudulent emails. I told you about that. For emails, they send an email to you. That's plenty. Go to my spam email. There's plenty there for you too. The same. Posing as legitimate entities. So you can see when a hacker launches a phishing attack, he or she is trying to trick you into believing that the message is from a legitimate source, so that you will click a link or download attachment. This one is by the day. All right, let's go to number 9, CIA triad. Now, CIA, not the American CIA, but it's quite interesting. Confidentiality is the C, integrity is the R, and availability. So, what does that mean? These are fundamental cybersecurity. This is a fundamental cybersecurity model. The 3 principles are confidentiality. You must ensure that your data is accessible only to authorized users. Integrity, maintain data accuracy and preventing unauthorized modifications. Then availability is ensuring systems and data are accessible when needed. You are going to be asking you, what's the A in CIA? I've given you one item in the text. So let's go to number 10. We're halfway done. Encryption. We all know about encryption. Well, I believe we can. So the process of converting plain text like this one, hello, which is readable, and we'll scramble it and make it unreadable data like this. And then there's a key that will now turn this into here. I recall that, let's do cultural now. When we were growing up, you want to send some message, you get milk, pick milk, liquid, and you write something on the paper, and you send it out, and the person at the other end will just put, rub some like soot of flame, rub it there, and the thing will show. So it's the same thing. So encryption, that's what we have. And it ensures confidentiality. It prevents unauthorized access to sensitive information. Let's go on to number 11. Look at firewall. Let's look at the physical space. You put all these barbed wire. You put a wall. You put everything the same. So in the firewall, is just a protection, which can be hardware or software based, to prevent unauthorized access to network. Look at this hacker man who wants to come in here, but the server, this is the internet, and you find that you can't go in there because this firewall is there, the PC. All right, let's go to number 12. Number 12 is access control. That was also very easy. So look, we're done 12. So you have to change your language. We are talking to people now, so that you will know that you don't enroll for module 10. They will ask you, which day you enroll? Why are you making big grammar? Don't answer them. Just be using the big grammar. So this access control. You want to enter some people's offices, you have to press some numbers to get them in there. The same thing for networks. It's a process of determining who can access specific resources in a computer system. That's access control. Number 13 is authentication. So I want to send money. I want to send 100 naira to a participant, and then I hold my phone that I want to transfer the money, and the phone GT Bank will say, okay, put your pay. It's trying to authenticate me that I'm the one. But beyond that, it will do biometrics. It will capture my face. Say, now you, okay, fine, you are. Because my face will be different from any other person. So authentication is a process of verifying the identity of a user, system, or entity before allowing access to resources. As you can see, these are everyday things that that all of us in the class were familiar with. That three common authentication methods are put in here. Password based, yes. Two-factor authentication. That one is okay. Send 50,000 naira to Professor SG Odewumi in Benin, and then it will say, "Hey, yeah, no problem. Now I'm going to send a code to your email ID. That this thing, go and fetch that code." So when you fetch that code, that's second level. That's two-factor authentication. Send the code, send to user's phone, and the rest. And then biometric authentication. In many airports all over the world now, you don't need any this thing to be checking. There's something with your face. When it captures your face, you say, okay, what authenticate you. And also on your phone for mobile banking and the rest. Biometric authentication. Let's go to number 14, defense in depth. So these are layered defenses. Look at this. It has firewall, encryption, access controls. So putting all of these things together is defense in depth. Let's look at number 15. I like this number 15 like the others. Least privilege principle. This is a very important principle. Look at in the physical world. Okay, you have a sitting room. Yes, you have your bedroom, and you have another room leading to your bedroom or to your study. Then all the keys are here. You have to give the key to only those that have that privilege to get in there. Least, So you give, okay, if it's a bedroom, there's a key with your wife or husband, and then with your children, and then, but you can't give the cleaner all the keys. So least privilege principle, users and systems should have only the minimum access necessary to perform their tasks. This reduces the risk of unauthorized actions. Let's go to incident response. So incident response is a process where organizations follow to manage and mitigate the impact of a cybersecurity breach. Okay, I read in all the reports that you gave when we're doing the warm-up activities. Oh, this all was breached. So the response, what's the response? This typically involves identifying the breach. You know, my dean of science professor at Combi said, okay, there was this Rala Odinga thing that came in and all that, and they contained it, and they followed this response. There's a response sequence. Identifying the breach, contain the threat, eradicating the malicious elements, and recovering affected systems. So that's the response, incident response. So let your grammar, let your language begin to change, from this lesson 1. Let's go to number 17. Patch management. Patch management. Patch management, when you set up something, all these people, they'll be looking for gaps, holes through the thing. All those holes will have to be patched. So when your computer or your phone says, oh, I want to install a new update, it will tell you what holes they have found and people are penetrating through. So they have to be patched, just like this one. You can see this clock. You have to patch it. So patch management is the process of regularly updating software to fix security vulnerabilities. Vulnerabilities will keep coming and coming. So you keep patching, so I can improve performance. Let's go to number 18, zero-day exploit. Okay, fine. I put this one next to number 17 because when you have a software that is installed, operating system or application software, the rest, and you then there's a particular hole that the designers didn't know, developers didn't know, and all these people, all these bad people, will be able to detect it. The first one. So a zero-day exploit targets a previously unknown vulnerability in software. Before developers can release a patch, they don't enter. That happened several years back to me. One of the earlier versions of the operating system, and Windows Vista, I think, and they came in there, all this thing. But later, the patch was released and it worked. So 0-day means when there's no previously unknown vulnerability in the software before developers can release a patch. Let's go on to the last but one, virtual private network. We're all going to install this virtual private network because it's helpful. It's a technology that creates a secure encrypted connection over a less secure network, such as the internet, to protect data. Look at this image. You have the internet there. The internet can come straight through the ISP to here. But you see, with the virtual private network, it will put another layer of security on it. No big talk. You're going to see how this operates. Let's go to number last. That's cyber hygiene. It's cyber hygiene. Hygiene will mean that you are on top of it. You are cleaning your system. You are making everything nice and nice. So cyber hygiene is the regular practices and precautions that users like you and me would take to ensure that our systems are secure. So what are the elements of cyber hygiene? It's not like cutting your nail or cleaning your room or washing your place and all of that, but they are all similar. Updating the software, using antivirus programs, and being cautious about clicking on unknown links or attachments. Yeah, so after all the theory, let's now go on to practical 1 for module 10. And what it's all about is a 2-day map of global cyber threats. What am I expecting that you will do? You will go through this 3-step process. Of course, I'm going to put this one also in the newsletter number 3 on Monday. So what are we for step 1? You select any 2 days between Monday and Thursday. You can say, okay, I want Monday and Tuesday, I want Monday and Wednesday, any 2 days. Then about the same time on each selected date, let's say you say, okay, 12 noon or 2 p.m. Anytime that's convenient for you. You don't want to hassle you at all during this course. 4 p.m., whenever, or even 8 p.m., but that will be the same time on each selected date. You take a screenshot of the global cyber threat map displayed at the link. Where is that one? I'm going to show you in a minute. And then you record the total number of cyber attacks on that day, the top targeted countries, the top targeted industries, the top malware types, and then you write up, you discuss the results and reach some conclusion. So let's do it. So this is the link we are going to go to, that you'll go to. That's the live cyber threat map for this day, this particular time. So make sure it's the same time for the 2 days I've selected. This is 9,500,000, whatever. Just make a note of that. But more importantly, you have to take the screenshot. What's the meaning of screenshot? You have to capture this screen. How do you do that? You see, there's a button. It's called print screen, PRTS, on your computer, any computer at all. So you just press it, and it's going to capture the screen. So what this one has done is, let's see now, have I captured it? Yes, I pressed it now, and it's going to capture the screen. Yeah, the screen is now captured, and all I need to do is just select. See what I'm going to do? Just select this place here, and I've captured this screen. And then what am I going to do with that capture screen? You are going to put it on your sheet for the practical. So you're going to get this sheet, which is that's your answer sheet that you're going to submit. Module 10 Practical 1, 2-day map of global cyber threats. You put your name, surname first, and you put your other names. There are several surnames that are, being the same. So you just put your first name and other names, your middle name, your institution, your registration number, very important. Then assume it's on Tuesday, April 29th that I'm taking this at 12 noon. Then the other one for Wednesday has to be also at 12 noon. So what am I going to put here? You are going to paste. If you do Control V, or if you can do this, you are going to paste the, where is it now? Let me just do Control V. You are going to paste this cyber threat map for that day, for Tuesday. Then let's assume that you can see how the map looks like. Very nice. So what are we going to be reporting? Let me show you what I'm going to be reporting. You are going to be reporting the number of attacks. You are going to report the top targeted countries: Ethiopia, Nepal, Indonesia, and all that. Top targeted industries, we'll report that one. And then top malware types. Yes, phishing on this as number 1, mobile is number 2, and the worm number 3. So assume you are now on the other day, Wednesday, 12 noon. You do a screenshot again. So I'll press the print screen, and it's going to give me, it's going to capture the screen. My screen is being captured now. And I select this like this, and then I go to my answer sheet that I'm going to submit for, where is it now? Yeah, this is the one. So for Wednesday, hey, you paste this one like that. So that's it. You can see this one is different. Where it's originating from, where it's going to, this one is different. So what we want you to do is to give us a summary table. I'm going to give you this in the newsletter. I'm going to give you maybe as a separate document. So date is this. Total number of cyber attacks. Where you could get that one is from here. Total number of cyber attacks. Top targeted countries is from here. What else? Top targeted industries. This one. And then top malware types. This one. So what do you need to do? This is very important. This is where we know that you're going to put your intellectual power. Discussion of results. So you need to discuss to say that for Wednesday, you have quite a lot of this arising from the US going to Israel, or going to this, or Russia, and all that. For Tuesday, it's coming all the way from wherever this is, all the way. So it will, that's what you're going to say. And then talk about the different number of cyber attacks, about the countries and all that. So that's what you're going to have as your report for practical number 1. And you're going to get very high marks, I'm sure. No two ways about that. Yeah, we've come to the end of Unit 1, Introduction to Cybersecurity. So next lesson, we're going to be looking at how the internet works, and these are the subtopics we'll be taking. Until then, from me, Peter Okebukola, keep being secure physically and virtually. But for me, no security anywhere. Now God be my security. So bye-bye.